Who is your favorite artist? I mean, is it Shakespeare? Is it Frost, Picasso, Michelangelo? Is it the Beatles, Rembrandt, Michael Jackson, Beethoven? And we could go on and on and on about who we think is the greatest without recognizing our infrastructure to answer that question is misled and outdated, because there is no debate about who is the greatest, because those other artists we mentioned, the greatest made them. And see, this artist, he's a beast. He's a lion. He's the name above names. You don't even realize, but you encounter his art every day, and he deserves all the acclaim. He deserves all the fame, because all those other artists pass away. But he remains. Oh, by the way, his name is God, Yahweh, Creator, your Maker. He's infinitely created. There is no one greater. See, in the palm of his hand, he holds all the sand. The author of life, when he whispered, "Let us make man." So what if I told you that you are God's poetry? That you were created because someone else was creative. See, long ago he picked up his eternal paintbrush, he dipped it in his glory, placed us in his story, and said, "They will live for me." And I know it sounds outlandish, but we're not the product of random chances. In fact, we're not even the vine, we're actually the branches. And in the same way, we're not the artist, we're actually the canvas. Because in an instant, God started to make art. He shaped you uniquely and beautiful, individual from the start. And so he crafted and made each arm, each leg, ligaments, tendons, muscles, blood vessels, veins, arteries. He said, they are going to have a part of me. And you may be thinking, oh, that sounds good and all, but I'm wretched and I'm filthy. God won't use me. Will he? And that's what's just so awesome about God. No matter what we have done, he can still use us. Even though other artists, once they have broken equipment, they start to make excuses, God instead doesn't refuse us. And neither does he accuse us. He redeems us in Jesus and promises never to lose us. So stop saying that you're dirt. Stop saying you're the scum of the earth. You ought to be more careful about how you talk about someone else's work. Because if we trusted in Jesus, we can stop saying that we're filthy. I mean, don't you see we're drawn to repentance because of his kindness? So how dare you call yourself worthless when he says you're priceless? He's the one who gave Van Gogh the imagination to change the face of painting. Tell me, who else could be responsible for Mozart being able to compose at age 5 without formal training? He created the fingers Beethoven used to make art on the keys, for Pete's sake. He made Stevie Wonder one of the greatest musicians of our time. And he couldn't even see. And in the same way that our lives are borrowed time, this poem is borrowed lines, because the most ridiculous statement we could ever say is that this poem is mine, because we are not self-creating. No, we are not self-sustaining. Technically, nothing we do is original. We're just imitating. And no, that's not a diss. All I'm trying to say is this: even our own creativity is nothing more than an outflow of his. And so I'll end with this. You know that quote about giving credit where credit is due? Well, I think it's about time we start to give God his rightful credit too, because he's a God in the business of making all things new. And here's the truth: he's not through with making a masterpiece of you.